What's going on, Fit Fam? It has been a minute. It's been several minutes. It's been several days. Let me just give you the quick reboot of the reboot of what's been happening. So, in the very beginning, reason why I started this vlog was because I was 160 pounds, overweight, out of shape, and I used to be a personal trainer. And I thought, you know what? It's time. It's time to just reboot everything. And in that process, I also just got laid off. So I was looking for a job, and I had a ton of time on my hand, a ton. And then I think my second daughter was born in April. I was on a contract, and when I went on paternity leave, they cut me. So that was the next thing. And so April came along. It's almost been a year. We're almost full circle here. And remember, starting off overweight, unemployed, trying to find a job, trying to get into AI, trying to understand what's happening in society. And here we are. We're here, new background. We had to move. The house that we used to live in, the landlord, we were renting a house. The landlord said he wanted to sell the house, so we had to get out. So we got out. Found this new one, and I am no longer in an ADU where I have my gym equipment behind me. It's cleaner. That was one of the biggest complaints my wife said is the background needs to change. So here we go. And in December, when we got back from Switzerland, I actually lost weight. I got sick. So coming back, I think it was like COVID. My daughter got COVID. There were a cold, the flu. I mean, everything basically all in one. I dropped to 140 pounds. And I thought, oh, that's great. I met my goal. And before that, I was at 145. Right now, I'm hovering between 143 and 140. 140. Yeah. I haven't gone up to 145. So I'm maintaining. I don't know what it is. I probably did the most workout was from moving or a 5 day period. So we did that, and here we are, full circle. There were a couple things that were on my plate that I want to talk about. First of all, yes, I have a problem. I don't know if you guys are one of those people that when you hear something that's going to work, you're like, oh, I got to try it. And you go out and buy it. I do that with vitamins. I have a ton of vitamins. And so I had to stop my Amazon subscription because I would get them, every 2 months, every 3 months, and just go, I'm going to use up my vitamins right now and figure out which ones actually do something for me. So that's where I'm at right now. Everything's on pause. I'm going through. Now, I do notice that if having citrin deficiency, L-arginine, which is an amino acid, helps me. Uh, what is the coconut oil, MCT oil helps me. And I was drinking that with mixed in with coffee, which was fine, but it just to in order to keep on doing that, it was just kind of getting gross. And so, and I have the capsules. That helps. I will tell you, this last couple of weeks, my mice family were here. They all went out to sushi. I didn't go, but I said, hey, bring me back like a California roll. I used to eat raw fish, and I just understand the raw fish thing. I'm going on a tangent, but there's no flavor. There really is no flavor if you eat raw fish. Maybe tuna, you can kind of taste the flavor, but anyways, so she brought me back California roll. It's rice, and it wiped me out. It wiped me out for a week. I was foggy. I wasn't sharp. I was tired. I was fatigued, and it's just crazy. And that's citrin deficiency. There is something else that we were going to talk about. So, during the holidays, you get Black Friday, and I subscribed to Mudwater, so you don't have to. The reason why I did this was because I thought, this is going to be a good experiment because I want to see what the craze is. Why is it good? Now, I tried Rise, I think it was called, another mushroom coffee, which for whatever reason I broke out in hives drinking that one. And but this one, this is like I've had a box before. Mudwater it's horrible. Let me just put it straight. It's not good. But you know what? You know what's good about it? Is it has the mushrooms that I take in supplements. And it's less expensive in getting this than it is buying the actual supplements. So I thought, well, maybe if I go in that route, that will solidify the cost. It's good if that's what you're doing it. It's bad if you're thinking this is like a new coffee substitute. Yeah, it's not good. This one, so it's got mushroom coffee, cordyceps. That's what it is. Cordyceps, lion's mane. It doesn't have turkey tail. It has L-theanine, changa, reishi, and arabica. I can't even say the word, but that's what I have. It's okay. It's just not the best. It's not my favorite. But again, if you're taking supplements, you're taking mushrooms. If you're in the mushroom, if you're a mushroom guy, this will work. It's less expensive. So, also the Hume scale. We got that during Black Friday. It works. It's better. I think it's more accurate when it comes to body fat because I had the Waze scale, and that was actually saying that I was consistently over 30% body fat. And I'm like, that can't be right. The Hume scale says I'm hovering around 25%, 27%. So I'm like, that makes more sense. And it breaks down the body parts, do a screenshot. And so that's pretty much that was beneficial. That can help. I haven't worked out. I haven't worked out since we moved, which is in February. So in the whole setup is in the garage right now. It's torn apart because that thing is heavy. Shout out to my brother-in-law, both of them, for helping us move. So that's a good thing. And then getting back into job, I picked up a job in September, which I think you all remember. That seems to be going well. Working here in Seattle, so I don't live in Seattle, but so far so good. I know there's a lot of political tension going on in Seattle, and a lot of companies are moving out, and people are moving out, and blah blah blah. When you have the time on your hand, you're like, I gotta be creative, and then the creative juices start flowing, and then you start vlogging and you do podcasts and everything, and trying to be creative and getting ready for a film. And anyways, ever since then, I started the new role. It's like time has been escaping me, and so here we are. I'm back. I would try to do this at least once a week because a lot of things have changed. I've graduated my AI fellowship program, which is good. That's positive. And it's really kind of opened my eyes into a lot of different avenues. I think right now, if you haven't heard of Claude Bot, that is on trending, if you will. That's the new AI thing that people are installing on their own individual computers, Mac Minis to be specific. And so I haven't done it yet, but I'm thinking about trying it. I just upgraded my computer. I have an old MacBook Pro M1 that I'm like, it's got enough power in it. I'm going to install it and see what it does. So that's happening. The other thing is like, how do I maneuver myself into the AI realm and start a business and start producing products or whatever it is that people need in the area? Trying to be useful in that way. Fitness wise, what's been interesting is I've actually been maintaining my 140, 143 pound, like I'm average right now. So if I start working out, I'm pretty sure I'd either go up in muscle and reduce fat or drop in weight, which I'm assuming I'd probably go up in muscle if I start working out. So that's definitely on the spring. I think the goal was to, do the summer body, and that hasn't happened. So I haven't been consistent in that part. Motivation, I saw a video, and I'll link it in the show notes, about writing down goals, like literally physically writing goals and what it does, which is fascinating. So what did I do? Got a book. I'm gonna try it. I want to see. I gotta see. I gotta see if this is gonna work because I believe in vision boards. I believe in looking at your goals and trying to manifest what you want to do. And this last year, things that I had on my board a year ago is coming into fruition. So I truly believe it's possible. How are you? How are you doing on your fitness goal? What is it that you're seeking to accomplish? I think it's one thing to vlog and talk about yourself a ton, but it's like part of me is like I want to help people. I want to see what are you all up to? What's going on? Are you embracing AI? Are things coming into in your world? I know a lot of organizations, past organizations that I work for, they were afraid of AI, and now you hear all this. People are starting to get into it more and more and more. So, I think you still have a couple years. I think you still have a couple years to actually immerse yourself in it, to understand it, to apply it. And I will tell you, there's an app finally. So I have a podcast. I talk to filmmakers, and I was literally doing all this stuff to try to, to get seen, the whole social media thing. I don't have time for social media. I really don't. I just, if I can find an easier way to do things, I'll do it. And the first thing I found, because literally from my graphic design background, I was creating thumbnails. I was going to Photoshop. I was taking the picture. I was taking out the background, and now it's easier because they have AI in there. And then I'm putting in their movie posters of things that they were doing and trying to make the color and trying to make it interesting. Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, this takes so much time. Found an app. App does it. Boom. Click a button, upload a photo. Boom. You're done. I mean, literally. I showed my wife yesterday and she was like, "What?" She goes, "That's so much better than what we could have created." And I'm like, "Okay." So I'll be doing that to these vlogs too. Other than that, in the news of health, I think I will say the thing that's starting to come out is the shots from, that time. I don't know if we're still being limited on how we can talk about this stuff, but turns out a lot of people are having problems, which is, I mean, it's surprising, but it's not surprising. So it's like great. So if you know somebody, even on Reddit, people are saying, "Have you noticed some people are acting kind of funny lately? What's happening? Did they get a shot?" There was another thing about the flu shot didn't do so well this last year, and it's like because of people that got these other shots, and it just this whole political thing. My thing is just let's be healthy. I know peptides also is under attack. Part of me was going down that rabbit hole thinking, well, is that something I want? I don't honestly, I don't want to give myself a shot. I don't want to do peptides like that. I'm not into shots. Period. I tried taking allergy shots when I was a kid. That was not fun. So here we are starting over, a reboot of a reboot. It's been a minute. So far healthy. I've been downing vitamins, literally daily. Fitness, we're still getting kind of settled into this house. We've unpacked a lot of things, but our garage is packed. Packed. You ever been to that? Where you guys have a garage, you get moved into a new house, and you're like, oh, I can park a car in here, and you realize, oh no, everything's gonna be stored in there because we don't have room and space, and then you realize you gotta downsize, and you realize you just got too much stuff and crap, and it's like, oh my gosh. So that's where we're at. We're at the part of, okay, how do we get rid of a lot of the stuff? And then, I asked Chat, how do I become a minimalist? Chat goes, you can't. You have a wife and two kids. So I was like, what? And he's like, well, okay, here we go. Find the things that you haven't seen in the last year that you don't need. That's the first thing to get rid of. And I had boxes. I had boxes of stuff that I've kept thinking, I'm one of those. My weakness in life is if I don't see it, I forget about it. Or if I don't say it, I know I've said this before. You buy it again and you're like, oh, I had one of those. It's you just go down that rabbit hole. And I've run into that a couple times. That's why if you remember the last location where I was at, everything was out. You know why? Is because I would remember I had it. If I don't see it, I'm not going to remember I have it. So that was the first step. And then it said, if there's something that you don't need, that you don't have to have, then that's the first indication that you can get rid of it. Okay, so here's so these cans, right? I got kids. When I'm done with the coffee, what do? Hey, you want to use this for something to put your pens in, your crayons? Or yeah, now it's like we just gotta throw it away. Period. Here's another idea. So I just went through the box. WeMove. Remember these guys? WeMove. You would connect this to your home, Apple Home, or Google Home, or whatever. They went out of business. I had no idea. So when I went to plug this in and connect it, it wouldn't connect. And I'm like, what's happening? It worked during Christmas. I thought it did. I don't know. Stuff like that, where you just store it in a drawer and you're like, oh, I could use this later. It just collects. So here we are, downsizing, trying to get rid of stuff. If you have kids, I know you can relate. If you have a garage and you have storage in there, I know you can learn it. So it's so funny that when you go this complex that we live in, so we live in a townhouse, and if you go down the street and you see people's garages, yeah, they're doing a little better than we are, but it's a storage area. What else is happening in the world? A lot of layoffs, which makes me nervous. But I'm not a software engineer. I know a lot of software engineers are getting laid off. A lot of departments that deal with AI or any kind of app and stuff like that are getting trimmed. And so, I think you get to that point of how do we stay relevant? how can we move forward without worrying about getting laid off? And how do we solidify a future that will be relevant? Like, how do I make, and that's part of, I'm going on this rabbit hole with AI to go, how can I start a business that I can be sustainable if anything else happens? Because I've been down that road of being laid off way too many times. And it's like, I got to get off my butt to see if I could do something about it. So, hopefully, small steps, but as we progress, we will get to it. And hopefully, as things start to settle, I have more time to vlog, reach out to people. And I'm still spinning in my head how to start a community, how to make this happen. And we'll see what happens.